Juan, you wrote an excellent column for Fox News Latino or FoxNews.com or both that suggested that both these men profiled each other. George Zimmerman looked at Trayvon Martin and saw a person just like the people who had been victimizing his neighborhood and making his neighbors suffer. That's what George Zimmerman saw. That was the person he saw. He saw another hoodie-wearing thug from the neighborhood who was going to come and perpetrate yet another burglary, yet another robbery. Trayvon Martin, on his behalf, was, the kid was living in Miami with his mom. He was up in Orlando, in the Sanford, Florida, visiting his dad, a stranger in a strange place. He goes to do something perfectly legal, taking a known shortcut to the 7-Eleven. He looks at George Zimmerman and he sees, in the words of Rachel, his girlfriend, a creepy-ass white cracker who's stalking him. They both profiled each other. This became a race case. Should this have been a race case? Should the President of the United States have become involved? Juan Williams.
Well, I think that there's no question that race was involved, Geraldo, but it's not a race case in the sense that I think that, a lot of the media has superimposed that racial framework on the case improperly. I think that Ms. Story, the prosecutor, said it right, that, there was race involved here, but it's not the story. Maybe race was part of the profiling that went on in Zimmerman's mind, but it is not the overall story. This is not a racial case. And some of the news media tried to make it that, and I think they did so to the point where they distorted what really took place on the ground. Now, with regard to what the president said... And then, Juan, how do you explain... Hold it, Juan, hold it. How do you... I'm sorry, I interrupted you, and I wanted your remarks about the president, but... And we'll get to them momentarily, just to allow me this one interruption. Then why are most black people disappointed who have been following this case, and most white people relieved? I mean, isn't this O.J. Simpson in reverse, Juan Williams? I hope that's not the case as you describe it. I hope that, it's not the case that white people somehow have made George Zimmerman into some kind of superhero. A minute ago you asked me, was race the predominant factor in this case? And I don't think it was. I answered you honestly, Geraldo, but then you say, well, but white people are, all on George Zimmerman's side, or conservatives are all rooting for George Zimmerman. People who would point out that George Zimmerman might be described as Hispanic in a different situation. So, no, I don't think that all white people are celebrating tonight. I think that the country has a sense of the injustice, the fact that, there is a dead child and someone killed him and we don't know how to deal with it, and we think something should be done when someone kills a child who's unarmed. So technically,
okay,
I think
now
the family, let me just say, hold on, Geraldo, hold on. The family asked for justice. The family knew that their child, no one had been arrested, no one had put through the legal process, and their child was dead. What we can say tonight is that the legal process went forward, the man was charged, and a jury gave their verdict. It may be that they did so on a technical legal basis in terms of what second-degree murder would have required for them to find him guilty, or even manslaughter. But you can also say that there is an absence of wisdom and heart. And that's why you think, why is it that this child is dead? And you say all white people are happy. I don't believe that, but I don't think...
I'm not saying all white people. Don't put words in my mouth, mate.
No, you're saying white people,
if you
said black people are unhappy and white people are happy. I don't believe that.
I said most. I didn't say all. I think Americans
of all colors understand that something terrible happened.
This case should never have been brought. This case should never have been brought, and if it wasn't for outside race politics, you had the Reverend Al Sharpton here, you had the Reverend Jesse Jackson here, you had the million hoodie march, etc. But for that, this case never would have been brought, certainly not at the level of murder in the second degree. That was a stunning, unsupportable charge. Why do you think I was so confident this many weeks and months predicting an acquittal? It wasn't because I'm a showboater who sticking my neck out. It just did not qualify under the terms of the statute. It would not have been brought if it wasn't for the aspect of race and politics. Judge.